Another topic in commercial law is the concept of transportation law, which is governed by the Civil Code. So what are common carriers? Common carriers are corporations, firms, or associations engaged in the business of carrying or transporting passengers or goods, or both, by land, water, or air for compensation, offering their services to the public. That's under 1732 of the Civil Code. So common carriers hold themselves out as ready to engage in the transportation of goods for hire as a public employment and not as a casual occupation. So requisites to be a common carrier, he must be a person, corporation, firm, or an association engaged in the business of carrying or transporting passengers or goods or both. And the carriage or transport must either be by land, water, or air, and the service is for a fee, and the service is offered to the public. What are the tests for determining whether one is a common carrier? So the true test for a common carrier is whether the undertaking is a part of the activity engaged in by the carrier that he has held out to the general public as his business or occupation, and not the quantity or extent of the business actually transacted or the number and character of the conveyances used in the activity. It is determined by the character of the business carried on by the carrier, such as part of the activity engaged in the carrier that he has held out to the general public as his business. It is also an undertaking of a single, if the undertaking is a single transaction, not part of the general business or occupation engaged in as advertised and held out to the general public, the individual or entity rendering such service is a private, not a common carrier. Common carriers by operation of law. So they are a pipeline operator under the Petroleum Act, electricity distributors, customs brokers who have been regarded as common carrier because transportation of goods is an integral part of their business. A beach resort operator may be regarded as common carrier when its ferry services are so intertwined with its main business as to properly be considered ancillary thereto. Operators of school bus services, which are engaged in transporting passengers generally as a business, not just a casual occupation, undertaking to carry passengers over establishing roads by the method by which the business was conducted, and transporting students for a fee. Services providers which are not considered as common carriers. We have travel agency, and they are not common carriers because the object of contractual relation of a person who purchases a ticket through a travel agency is only the agency's service of arranging and facilitating the booking, ticketing, and accommodation in the package tour. Towage operators. Towage refers to the service rendered to a vessel by towing for the mere purpose of expediting her voyage without reference to any circumstances of danger. Stevedoring services. Stevedoring refers to the handling of cargo in the holds of the vessel or between the ship's tackle and the holds of the vessel. The responsibility of the stevedore ends upon the loading and stowing of the cargo in the vessel. Service not considered as common carriers, arrastre services. Arrastre operator is no different from that of a depository or a warehouseman. The functions of the arrastre operator have nothing to do to the trade and business of navigation, nor the use or operation of vessels. Also, a freight forwarder is not a common carrier because it merely chooses or selects the common carrier. A freight forwarder's liability is limited to the damages arising from its own negligence in choosing the carrier. Now, what is a private carrier? A private carrier is one wherein the carriage is generally undertaken by special agreement and does not hold itself out to carry goods for the general public. A private carrier can also be a common carrier can also be converted into a private carrier. such as a charter party may transform a common carrier into a private carrier. However, it must be a bareboat or demise charter, where the charterer mans the vessel with his own people and becomes in effect the owner for the voyage or service stipulated. What is the diligence required for a common carrier? Common carriers, from the nature of their business and for reasons of public policy, are bound to observe extraordinary diligence on the vigilance over the goods and for the safety of passengers transported by them according to all circumstances of each case. Article 733 of the New Civil Code. Extraordinary diligence is that extreme measure of care and caution which persons of unusual prudence and circumspection observe for securing and preserving their own property or rights. Vigilance over the goods. It is the liability of the common carrier with respect to vigilance over the goods in general are as follows. Common carriers are responsible for loss, destruction, or deterioration of the goods. In fact, they are liable even in those cases where the cause of the loss or damage is unknown. If the goods are lost, destroyed, or deteriorated, common carriers are presumed to have been at fault or to have acted negligently. Defenses available to common carriers. Common carriers are not liable when such loss, destruction, or deterioration is due to any of the following circumstances. 1. Flood, lightning, earthquake, other natural disasters, or calamity and storm. Act of public enemy in war, whether international or civil, and omission of the shipper or the owner of the goods, the character of the goods or defects in the packaging or in the containers, and an order or act of a competent public authority. Contributory negligence is where the liability of the common carrier shall be equitably reduced when the loss, destruction, or deterioration of the goods is due to the negligence of the common carrier as the proximate cause thereof. The shipper or owner merely contributed to such loss, destruction, or deterioration. So it does not exonerate the common carrier from its liability, but its liability is equitably reduced when there is contributory negligence on the part of the shipper or owner. Okay, the safety of passengers. The liability of common carriers with respect to the safety of passengers in general are as follows. A common carrier is bound to carry the passengers safely as far as human care and foresight can provide, using utmost diligence of a very cautious person with due regard to all circumstances. In case of death or injuries to passengers, common carriers are presumed to have been at fault or to have acted negligently, unless they prove that they observe extraordinary diligence. Note that it is not enough that the accident was caused by force majeure. The common carrier must still prove that it was not negligent in causing the injuries resulting from such accident. Okay, certain instances wherein the common carrier was held liable. So, defects in the automobile does not exonerate a common carrier from liability. A passenger has neither the choice nor control over the selection and use of the carrier's equipment and appliance. A defect in the appliance purchased by the carrier from the manufacturer, as the manufacturer is considered as an agent of the common carrier. Injuries suffered by the crew members or employees. Utmost diligence is not only for the safety of the passengers but also to the members of the crew or the complement operating the carrier. Injuries suffered by individual whose presence was called for by the contract of carriage. Note that common carrier is not liable for the failure to deliver the passenger to the agreed destination because of sovereign acts. Lastly, there are also void stipulations that generally the responsibility of a common carrier for safety of passengers cannot be dispensed with or lessened by stipulation, by posting of notices, by statements on tickets, or otherwise, except when the passenger is carried gratuitously. A stipulation limiting the common carrier's liability for negligence is valid. An exception to the exception is even when the passenger is carried gratuitously, a stipulation limiting the common carrier's liability for willful acts or gross negligence is still invalid. The reduction of fare does not justify any limitation on the common carrier's liability.